in here? We are back live here on our world-famous KJAG radio broadcast. iHeartRadio, AMFM247.com, all sorts of places. And we have a great guest joining us today here on Skype. And from time to time, I'll let the guests do their own introductions just in case I miss anything. And also, as I've said many times, I'm kind of an idiot. So go ahead and introduce yourself, my friend. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
The most amazing artist of all time, Lisa Ramey. I won NBC The Voice. A lot of people know me from that, but I'm a recording artist, and I'm known all over social media at Lisa Ramey Music.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get into doing this whole thing?
All this singing stuff?
Yes. All the singing stuff. That's awesome.
All this singing stuff. Well, I started out not very good at singing. So I decided just to be a dancer, which was more exciting for me. And then I was doing a lot of dance in St. Louis, Missouri. And that got me into singing and like musical theater type stuff. So I did that. That eventually got me to New York City. And while I was there in my early 20s, I decided that I wanted to, instead of doing everybody else's story and making money for everyone else, I wanted to take a chance and try to make some for myself. So I became a recording artist and don't have any money. But I'm really happy that it's all my stories that I'm getting out now.
Well, you know, at least you're happy. I've known many recording artists who are just like, you know, I really am not happy, but I'm doing this crap, and I'm like,
I'll
what?
say I'm happy on camera all the time. What is actually happening? It's just really hard to do this kind of stuff. You know, it was a lot easier when I did Cirque du Soleil, where everybody deals with marketing. I don't. I show up to work, you know, and there's like a place for me to go home, and then there's money in my pocket for food. Like that all goes away when I want to do it myself. But I am happy. It's this stupid thing that these singers we have that it's like I just need to keep doing this, and I want to do it in this way. And my way is, eventually I'll have a yacht, and you can come party with me on it. But until that happens, I'm, you know, in a pond.
That's awesome. We have got a great guest with us today. Lisa Ramey joins us. She has released an anticipated debut full-length album. It is called Surrender. Tell me a little bit about Surrender. This is a hell of a deal.
You gotta surrender. You gotta surrender everything. For me personally, there's a lot of people are control freaks and just want to have their hands on everything and steer people to do everything for them. But I had to give everything up, and I do mean everything. There was an apartment situation that I had to give up. There were lots of amazing contracts that I had to give up, and downright to personal beliefs and everything. I just had to completely give it up in order for everything to work out for me. And if I was not giving it up, then I had a lot of roadblocks. So I had to give up everything and just surrender myself to the universe, to the industry. And ever since I've done that, you know, I've been able to release music and do everything that I've wanted to do, and it came with surrendering.
Fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. Phenomenal, in fact. Lisa Ramey with us. She has released a great full-length album, Surrender. This is an album that is a follow-up to your debut EP, I Am. So give us your thoughts and feelings on, I guess, compare and contrast the two pieces of business here.
Well, whenever you leave Broadway and big contracts, Cirque du Soleil and The Voice, you learn a lot. And before I did all those things, I started writing, and I did the EP and released that and felt so good about it. But now, after working with more professionals and learning more about equipment, sound, my writing partner, Frank Cagliano, he learned more about production. And now we're at the point where we just kind of want to take the EP away from the world and they can only listen to the album, because you can really hear the difference. You know, I stress for anyone to listen to like Clear Your Mind on the EP and then listen to Clear Your Mind on Surrender, and you can definitely see how much I've learned.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Lisa Ramey with us today. She joins us live here in a broadcast. And, of course, she had tremendous success on The Voice in 2019, where she garnered rave reviews from national music fans and media alike. So what can you legally tell us about The Voice?
I'm glad not everybody starts like that, and everyone should start like that. We got a lot of secrets, but they are a very well-oiled machine. They know exactly what they're doing. A lot of things you don't get to see, but that's because they're great at their jobs. And you don't need to see all that kind of stuff. But it was crazy. I honestly think that they should have kind of like in Drag Race, whenever after Drag Race is over, they have the aftermath of what happened in during the filming of it. If they did that for The Voice, it would be a hit to see what we all go through. Being in a hotel, some of us caught jailed, not because it was terrible, but because we couldn't leave. In season 15, you have to stay in the hotel and you can't go anywhere. In season 16, they were you can kind of you see that tree over there? You can go to the tree. Then you got to come back because they're responsible for a lot.
And also they don't want anybody doing all this Instagram, Facebook crap where we're spoiling shit and telling people.
I mean, the things that we hear about, we get really excited. It's not every day that John Legend talks to you about how you should be on the Grammys. You're I want to go tell everybody because I feel justified. Exactly. And everybody needs to know that he said that. But that I could have got kicked off the show, without them even showing it. No one would have even known who I was. It's all about timing. And yeah, they're really hard on you for that kind of stuff. But they're great at it, and it's good, and we would just be ruining it for the fans, and they would honestly not like it.
We have got a great guest with us today. Lisa Ramey is with us. She is a quote-unquote New York City soul rocker is what her press people refer to her as. And she was on The Voice in 2019, and then you were all over, the different media, Newsweek, Entertainment Weekly, all these people.
I get around.
They loved your stuff. They put you over.
I was really happy about that. It's really hard to get your name out there, and I would have never thought I would have done something like The Voice or Cirque du Soleil. But you go when you get that kind of a call, and because of doing something like The Voice, I'm able to have this conversation with you, and it's opened doors for so many opportunities of people who are well, who are you? Let's talk, which is great. I would have never had that without it.
So, how did you get on The Voice? What take me through this process?
Okay, this is a hard one. Okay, so I was doing the circus, and I was on my last few weeks there and kind of really nervous about leaving it, and I got a phone call. And they found me from The Voice, voice casting, and they found me on Instagram. So, everyone needs a hashtag singers of Instagram or singer-songwriter, because I can't imagine how else they found me, but they found me on Instagram and then literally just called me hey, yo, what's up? Are you interested in The Voice? And I'm well, yeah. So that started my audition. Now, we can definitely say they didn't play favorites because I auditioned that season and didn't make it on the show and had to come back. So it wasn't that great that they called me, but at least it started the process of eventually being on the show.
That's awesome. By the way, I like your glasses.
Thank you.
Those
awesome frames, right?
Those are I didn't know if you were wearing what the hell is it? The glasses where you don't, the eye protection glasses you were in a factory.
Nope, they're just cute.
That's awesome.
I started it first, though, because I was the one who was really little, jealous that my sister had frames, and I didn't get to use them because I had good eyesight. And I said, well, screw that. I'm going to go get my own glasses. And now everybody's doing it, but I started that.
So when they call you, how did they, because Instagram, a lot of times people don't put their personal information. How the hell did they, find you? Because...
Bigger question, how did the fans find my phone number later on when I took everything offline?
That too.
I guess there's always a way. Once it's out there, it's just always out there.
Yes.
But Google right now has no idea how old I am, but I'm down with that. That's okay.
You are so fun. This is
Thank you.
This is great. We have got a great guest with us today. Lisa Ramey joins us here in our broadcast, and she wrote 13 tracks on the Surrender album in a 4-year period, she wrote each
so
song
impressive, Ben.
from a different aspect of her life. So talk to me about this. This is a hell of a deal.
Well, sometimes you start things and you get calls from these epic companies and then you go off and do them because you need money. It's really expensive living in Manhattan. I grew up in St. Louis and was thinking, oh, I can handle it. And I got out here and was like, this is terrible. But yeah, you have like, you just go for it. You do everything that you possibly can. And while it's happening, I was just writing down every little thing that was happening to me. Like the song You Ain't My Friend came from a situation with somebody that I was on tour with, and that's how I got that song. So that is, I like to say that it's just one really long diary entry, which is why there's 13 tracks. It started out definitely not being that many tracks, but I have a lot to say and I talk a lot. So that just translates to the album quite a bit. And I like it because I wrote it in the way that people write albums originally. So it's a story. So you start at the very beginning and it really works out. And it tells the story of like the last few years of my life, which I'm into. Everybody's into just like tracks, which is cool. But I was thinking of the way the album's originally written. So it tells a story.
Awesome.
Story.
Now, before we let you go, a couple different things. One, tell me about your Twitch streaming that you do.
That was so cool. That was because Lemons to Lemonades. I had this really amazing like New York City album release, and I was gonna have a red carpet. There was press gonna be there. I was so excited, and then COVID was like, "Nah, you're just gonna go home." So my manager, I have the greatest manager of all time. She was like on a group thing that she has with other assistants that she knows, and from that information came Twitch. And I have my friend Tim Young, who opened for me for it. He is a gamer, and so he does a lot with Twitch weekly for their gaming world. So I was like, I don't understand why a gaming community wants me, because I only know what Sonic the Hedgehog is, and I'm great at it. But that's all I knew. So I was like, I don't think they want to watch me just play Sonic. And they're like, no, we really want to get our music up there more, because everyone's coming to tune in for gaming, and we're so much more than that. And I was like, cool, use me. So a girl that I met, Andrina from the circus, who was in front of house years ago, she ended up coming to New York. She's involved with Diamond Grade Media, and they're amazing. So she came in and recorded it, and I went to Brooklyn to the studio that was open literally the day before they were like, no one can go out anymore. And we just did everything that day, and it was terrifying. I think I peed myself, because you don't anticipate that you're like running a show until it happens. And it like right when the lights came up, it was me, and I'm like, oh my God, I've never emceed a live stream in my life, but hey, here we are. But it's really cool because I had over 3,000 people tuning in, and I would not have had 3,000 people at my show in New York. So it kind of turned into this amazing situation out of like really sad despair when I thought I couldn't have my show. That's how I got with Twitch and the gaming community.
Be sure to check out Surrender, the debut full-length album by Lisa Ramey, our guest today. Also, LisaRameyMusic.com. She's on Twitter, Instagram, all the different places. Yep. So is the best spot your website to send people for everything?
I mean, I'm Instagram. I do the most. TikTok, I literally am learning right now. So if you want to laugh at me trying to do something, you can look at that. But Twitter Twitter's good. I'm doing a lot with that too. But Instagram is main. But if you go to my website, LisaRameyMusic.com, it'll just guide you to all my socials. You can really go anywhere. I'm everywhere.
That's awesome. Well,
I'm like another virus that you can't get rid of.
Well, you have been spectacular. This has definitely been fun, and I am looking forward to chatting with you more in the future. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope I don't suck and that the world loves me so we can have more interviews in the future. I look forward to them too. I really, really, really